two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast, which your boy Ryan enjoys wrestling in the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and this is our WWE Big E's returning soon edition. We're gonna talk all things SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and our segment, and as always, our least valuable, most valuable dude, our dudettes. Ryan, how you doing before we get this party started?
I'm hanging in there, man. My internet's struggling, but we're going to power through. We're going to make it through this episode unscathed, unlike carrying or the Wyatt 6 from Monday Night Raw. We're going to get through it. We're going to get out of this without a scratch.
Oh, yeah. And the Miz, why was he bleeding? I don't know. We'll get into it. I didn't even see what the hell happened. All of a sudden, it like he popped a pimple.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
I don't think that was supposed to happen.
No, they didn't even do anything to him. He just like started bleeding. All right. But yeah, no news. So let's get into it. Let's get this show going. We got a lot of stuff going on. So let's start with the SmackDown review. And ladies and gentlemen, let's go. The OG Bloodline are in the ring. Jay wants Roman to listen to Sami, who hits the ring. Sami wants Roman to apologize to Jay, but Roman isn't having it, and Sami isn't joining the crew again. After the break, Roman goes old school Roman on Jay and Jimmy. Bayley defeats Candice LeRae, who lost her friend due to firing. Ciampa and Gargano seem to have issues. Randy Orton is in the ring when Kevin Owens lays him out and gives him a pile driver. Randy Orton is taken out in an ambulance where Cody Rhodes is going with him. I guess they're related. DIY defeat Pretty Deadly, and Gargano never tags in. Candice LeRae and Tiffany Stratton fight for Nia Jax's attention, and Nia Jax goes with Tiffany Stratton tonight. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeat Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, with Stratton taking the pin. Motor City Machine Guns defeat A-Town Down Under. DIY tells the Guns afterwards that they want the next shot, but in come the Street Profits, so they're getting it. So yeah, all right. Nick Aldis announces a new Women's U.S. Championship title coming soon. Solo was out for his acknowledgement ceremony when Roman hits the ring. He'll never acknowledge him, yada, yada, yada. So Solo announces a 5-on-5 match at War Games Survivor Series, and Solo says Sami Zayn will be their 5th member. They attack Roman, and who makes the save? None other than Sami Zayn with the help of Jay and Jimmy, and the OG Bloodline are back together, standing tall with the ones in the air to close the show, and that is the SmackDown review. A lot to start at, a lot of things to talk about. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, let's get into the Bloodline reunion.
Let's go.
Let's start from the top, and then we'll work our way down. But yeah, I'm really digging the way that they built this. I'm digging that this whole reunion. I thought it's been well done. I think it should be 4-on-4, but it sounds like they're going 5-on-5. I don't think they need to add anybody else to the match, which we'll talk more about that when we get to Raw, I'm sure. But yeah, I like everything that they did. I like that Sami confronted Roman, asked him to apologize, and said, not to me, apologize to Jay. I like that Roman is kind of slipping a little bit, like he's back. He keeps slipping back into his old self, like as if like he's trying to let it go, but he just can't because he's just power hungry. So I do like that all of the characters in the story are, everybody's conflicted. Like they're doing this for a bigger reason. They're doing this to put a stop to Solo Sikoa, but they all still have trust issues. So I do like that they're not all on the same page. I like that not everything is all of a sudden hunky-dory and we're forgiving everything that Roman did. I like that, Jimmy doesn't trust Sami. Sami trusts Jay. Jimmy trusts Jay, but Jimmy doesn't trust Roman. None of them trust Roman all completely. So I'm digging everything about it. It's been a great story, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And Sami Zayn lost his shoe, which was even better when he did that haluva kick on
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa.
Yeah. He fell over every haluva kick, by the way. Everyone he hit, he like fell to the ground, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Up to this point, this was perfect. Everything with the bloodline was just smooth. I like the fact that Roman is still going Roman. There's one thing I hate when you have a big heel turn babyface. You make him Cody Rhodes. You make him John Cena. You make him this guy who is like, oh, okay, gee golly, Jay and Jimmy, let's just all be friends. Like, no, Roman is still the tribal chief. Roman is still that dude. Roman is still like, I'm in charge. I don't give two craps, and it's going to hurt. And he's going to have to do a lot to be able to overcome passing the torch to other people. That's how I am as a boss at work. I'm a leader at work, and it's always hard for me to share the responsibility because I just want to take it over myself. And as individuals, sometimes we have to be able to branch off and allow other people to take some of that, work off of our hands. And that's what Roman needs to come to understanding. And I like the build up to it because at the end, Roman got his butt kicked and he looked at Sami and realized, I need you. I need this, and I have to figure this out. I can be Roman, but I have to be Roman with a little bit more lenience towards allowing you guys to help me and not be that rude ass dude. And I think they're going to do it well without him being back to the old Roman Reigns where he was not cutting promos. I think he's going to be the same guy, just not rude. You know what I mean? And I think he realized that. And I'm not going to lie. At the end of SmackDown, I was like watching Grease. You know the movie Grease? And they were multiplying, my man. That through me, just seeing them all together again. I have a poster right here. You can't see it, but it's the Survivor Series War Games with all of them when Sami basically turned on KO and stuck up with all the blood. It's just, I love it. I'm excited for it, and hopefully they do it correctly, but we'll get into that on Monday Night Raw. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, everything about this has been very, very well done. The story, I mean, and I have no idea what inning they're in. Like, I remember Paul Heyman did an interview a few months ago on First Take, and he was like, we're only in the third inning. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, like, how much longer can we get out of this story? And that was when Roman was champion. And here we are about a little over a year later. And, I feel like this story is going to keep going all the way through WrestleMania and maybe even beyond that. So I'm signing me up for it, man. This has been fantastic stuff. And I'm happy to get the OG Bloodline back together because they have such immense chemistry together. And, Sami's line on Raw, he had one of my favorite lines of when he said that he likes his chain, and just the little dynamics between the OG Bloodline folks. It's just, it's fantastic. And I'm happy to see him back together.
Oh, this is for sure going to WrestleMania. And whether we get Roman and Solo at Royal Rumble and then a 3-way at Mania, or we get Roman and Solo at Mania, either way, it's going to Mania. Hopefully beyond, we shall see. I really want to talk about Randy and KO. You want to start that off? I mean, let's get all this good because SmackDown had a lot of good, man, and this was one of them, in my opinion. What did you think?
Yeah. No, I liked that they showed the pile driver. I like that they talked about the pile driver being banned in the WWE. It's crazy that if you watch AEW,
there it is
on Rampage after this, they do pile drivers like the Young Bucks do super kicks, right? Like it's just a day that ends in Y in AEW. But in the WWE, I mean, it does look like a vicious move, and Kevin Owens delivered it flawlessly and made it look even more vicious than ever before. And it just took one, and Randy Orton sold it very well. Everything about it was great. The only thing I didn't like was Cody Rhodes. That whole like, I'm gonna go to the hospital with you, and like walking up with Randy into the on the stretcher, walking with Randy and climbing in the ambulance with him. The only thing that would have made that whole thing better is if Kevin Owens was driving the ambulance, but I don't think that was the case because I think they're trying to show that this is a little bit more real, and they want it to appear that way. And KO hijacking the ambulance would just be a little too hokey. So. But yeah, Cody Rhodes getting into the ambulance was kind of a meh for me, but everything else about this was great.
He wanted KO to slide the thing over and be like, we're going to hell. Exactly. Undertaker with Kane and whatever it was when he slid it open. Was it Undertaker and Kane? I'm pretty sure. We're going to hell. That's what I picture when you're in the ambulance with the no. And here's the thing, right? And I want to get into this later on in our episode, but the WWE allegedly allegedly announced that Cody Rhodes is their dude. They're all in. They want to bend over and touch their toes and let Cody do whatever they want to him. They think he's the next John Cena. And I think people forget that during John Cena's time, and I remember having this conversation with Santu trying to tell me I was incorrect. I'm not. Ratings were on all-time low. It's when WWE dipped when John Cena was in charge. Here's the thing, right? I was having a conversation with a friend about this that at work, and I was like the only other person other than you and people on TikTok that I talk wrestling with, and other than Patrick, and I was like, hey, like, do you like the Cody? What's going on? Do we need a person for the kids? And he was like, I hate it. I didn't like Cena. I didn't like, and I said, me neither. But I said, when I was growing up, I loved Hogan, and Hogan was the dude. And I look back at it and I go, well, I was a kid. I was 8, I was 6, I was 4, I was 10. I was a young kid when Hogan was that baby face All-American, and I loved it. If I was an adult during that time, did all adults hate Hogan? Did they all want the Warrior to win? Did they all want, like, you know what I mean? So when I go back and look at it, I say, okay, maybe I do get why they're doing it, because you do need the child audience. You do need kids to have somebody to look up to. But as a standpoint of who's actually watching TV, it's not the kids. No 6-year-old is on their TV like, yo, Dad, I'm going to watch Monday Night Raw. And the dad's like, okay, I guess I'll skip Monday Night Football tonight. No, it's the adults who watch. So in the long run, ratings talk, right? And I feel like you need more of that adult, I don't know, fan fave to get him over and to push him. And he's not doing that right now. But nonetheless, that's here nor there. I don't know why I went there. We'll talk about that later. But KO and Randy, like you said, if you make something feel important, and I'm not attacking AEW, they do make moves not feel important. And the pile driver is one of them. And I made a whole episode about that where they were doing the flippity doodahs and everybody's like, get over it, bro. It's entertainment. Well, no, you have to make things feel important. And a pile driver where it's hitting you on your neck, that should feel like an important type of thing. Just like the stomp with Seth Rollins, it should feel important. And WWE was able to do that. And that felt bad. When Randy took that, he even like stiffed up and didn't move. And the pile driver was pretty weak, which he did. His head was like way above the apron, but it didn't matter because KO sold it. Randy sold it. KO looked devastated by making his decision, but that he liked it. Randy literally stiffed up and it felt good. WWE lacks in finishers, right? We've talked about that. Make finishers great again, right? They don't give two shits about finishers like AEW, but this just shows that if you make moves feel important, it can have an impact. And they just announced that Randy is out for the foreseeable future or whatever. That is awesome. And now it looks like maybe when they finally meet, that pile driver will be in effect, and it's gonna feel the crowd's gonna be like no, and they're gonna have a reaction to it. And that's what WWE sometimes does really well. Good.
Yeah. I think that was the best part was the reaction from the commentators, because usually they don't talk about moves that are banned in the WWE. They just kind of gloss over like he hit him with a pile driver, and like don't even talk about like the out of character stuff or like the stuff that's literally like not supposed to be happening. So that added the extra sense of realism to this whole thing. And then like I loved the way everybody sold everything. Like this feud feels super important right now. And I am, I can't wait to see where it goes. I mean, obviously I think it's leading to something at Survivor Series between the two, but who knows? Can Randy Orton, I mean, it depends on how long Randy Orton's written off TV for. Does Cody Rhodes fill in for him? Does Cody Rhodes do anything? So there's a whole different dynamic here. And I'm liking it. I'm liking everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
KO as a heel, he's possessed, he's crazy, he's demented. I'm digging all of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I got KO and Cody at Survivor Series with Randy costing KO the match, but we'll see what happens. All right, I think the last thing we want to talk about, we agree on, right? What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
It's the Women's U.S. Championship, right?
Yeah, that wasn't boobs. That was you can't see my waist. That's
right.
That came out really wrong.
Yeah,
I meant
the crown. That's the Crown Jewel Championship. You're doing, but,
it does go that high. Yeah, poor Liv couldn't even put it on. It would have blocked her.
I know. It's it was taller than her. No, I think this is much needed and long overdue, and I'm excited to see what they do with this Women's U.S. Championship. I am curious who the first Women's U.S. Champion should be. I have some thoughts and some ideas as to who it could be. Chelsea Green's a good one. Yeah, Chelsea Green, Naomi.
He's the only one, bro.
Yeah,
Chelsea Green is
Mitchin.
it.
I think Mitchin would be a good one, but yeah, Chelsea Green's at the top of my list for sure. I've seen people say Charlotte Flair and Bailey. Like they've had their time in the sun. It's time. They should make the inaugural women's U.S. champion someone that can do what the U.S. championship is designed to do, and that's elevate. And who can use the elevation right now? Somebody like Chelsea Green, somebody like Naomi could use a big rub. So I'm gonna say. Yeah, I say put it on Chelsea Green and let her run with it in the mid card.
That girl is way too over, way too great, way too everything to not get this title. This is like hers in the making. And then let Charlotte, Bailey, Naomi's, let them have it second or third. That's what you do. You give it to a youngin, up and comer, like you did Finn Balor with the original, red title. What was it called? Yeah. Universal title at that time. You got to do the same thing. Let Chelsea Green have it for a few months, and then you can have somebody come back and take it and then give it more of a value to it. But Chelsea deserves it. I just want to say, I saw people on the internet crapping on it. I don't get it. More titles. Oh, no, they're AEW. No, women deserve a secondary title. You know that IC, I predicted it before it was even announced. Now they're announcing the IC title is probably going to come around. We need both. It's going to be phenomenal stuff for the women. Props to them. They deserve it. More airtime. And you got to remember, with Netflix coming out, man, with Raw, who knows how many hours they're going to get of TV? Are they going to get other shows on Netflix? Maybe side shows, like a Rampage or something like that, or a Collision that they have where they can do more with the women. Maybe a whole episode based on women. You can do so much. The world is open now with TKO. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Props to it. Chelsea Green needs to win that belt, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, she's definitely the only viable contender. I mean, she could have some good feuds with Naomi. She could have some good feuds with Mitchin. She could have some good feuds with some of these other women out there. But yeah, it's got to be Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, or don't even introduce it at all.
I agree. I agree fully. Chelsea or nothing. Are we right?
That's right.
All right, let's get into Raw, buddy. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Gunther and Priest open the show, and Damian Priest says they are facing off at Survivor Series. I was wondering where they were going to face off, and Gunther is worried about him. When Kaiser hits the ring, and we will get Kaiser and Damian Priest later on tonight, the sexy, beautiful, and vibrant Dakota Kai is back, baby, and with Damage Control, and everyone's like, Damage Control is complete. We're still mixing, like Bailey and Ox, but whatever. We the Damage Control is back. And then they go on to beat Pure Fusion Collective. Sami Zayn and the Usos need to decide that they want to look for a fifth member, and they all have an option. Pete Dunne defeats Kofi Kingston, and Kofi and Xavier bicker after the match. The Judgment Day are arguing, and next week we will get Carlito and Dom versus the War Raiders, and then we do not see Judgment Day again. Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins brawl in the ring again. Security breaks it up. So next week, they will have a match. Sami Zayn asks Seth Rollins to be the fifth member, but Seth Rollins declines it. We also have a segment where Jay is asking Rey Mysterio in the background. It looks like he's asking him, and Rey's like, no, man. No, sir. Damian Priest defeats Ludwig Kaiser. Gunther seems nervous after the match. Bron Breakker and your favorite / I think brother from another mother, or maybe the same mother, Sheamus will face for the IC title next week. Poor Sheamus, man. I feel like he's been wanting this title. He'll never get all the time, and he always faces the guy as soon as he wins. There's no chance, Sheamus, but whatever.
No.
Jey Uso asks afterwards to have a chat with Bron Breakker. Boom, boom. Pointless. The Miz is being bullied by the Final Testament, and they want the Wyatt Six, who appear. The Miz then attacks them from behind, and the Final Testament and the Miz stand tall. Bo Dallas laughs. Solo tries to recruit Seth Rollins as well, but he declines. And in the main event, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez as clean as you can get, with, you guessed it, Liv Morgan taking the pin. After the match, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, I don't know why they're there, and Io Sky, and Naomi all hit the ring and brawl, with the baby faces standing tall to close the show. And that is the Monday Night Raw review. You let me know where you want to start, homie.
Whew. So let's get into War Games. So number one, I feel like this episode of Raw compared to SmackDown was a little bit of a step down. I enjoyed the dynamic with, like I said earlier, with Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso, where he was talking about, hey, nice chain, and like all the stuff backstage. I liked all that. But I don't like that they're trying to recruit a fifth person. I really don't. I think it's completely stupid. I think it's dumb.
Yep.
Like, you've been telling us since the SmackDown after WrestleMania that this feud is family versus family.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden we're trying to get 5 people for War Games, and it makes no sense. Adding Seth Rollins doesn't make any sense. Why in the blue hell is Jey Uso talking to Rey Mysterio of all people?
Like, what does Rey bring?
Yeah, like, I mean, he breaks families up. Like, would you really want that guy to, to be
True that. True that.
And then look at freaking and why is Jimmy Uso of all people talking to Bron Breakker? Like, you would think it would have been the other way around. Like, Jey talks to Bron since they have the history. Jimmy talks to Rey, and Sami talks to Seth. But we don't need a fifth person. We don't need 5 people in war. Like, they've done War Games matches before, 4-on-4. And the Adam Cole, the Undisputed Era stuff with against Pat McAfee, that was 4-on-4 in their War Games match, and it was great. They've done a lot. They've done 3 versus 3 versus 3 War Games matches in WCW before. So you don't need 5 people, and especially now. And like, I feel like if you're going to add a fifth person, it should have been like a Zilla Fatu or a Hikuleo or somebody else.
That's what I want. Yeah, and The Rock.
Or The Rock, yeah. But I feel like that should have been done at like Crown Jewel to kind of give us time to build to this, instead of doing it 2 weeks before the big event, adding 5 people. So I don't know. And also, where's Roman? Why is Sami, Jimmy, and Jey doing the recruiting and not Roman Reigns? Like, Roman Reigns should have been. I think he should have made an appearance on Raw, and he should have been the one talking to Seth Rollins, and he should have been the one talking to Bron Breakker backstage and those kinds of things. But I don't know. I just feel like this episode was a huge step down from the incredible moment we had on SmackDown, just based on all the stuff with the 5-person War Games match.
Well said. Exactly. And it just, in a nutshell, it doesn't make sense. And we're not going to talk about the spoilers, which are going around for next week's Monday Night Raw, but it's just the fact that, like, why does everybody want Seth Rollins? Like, why are they all for, like, dude, we need Seth Rollins? No, Bronson Reed needs that. Like, why? Because him and Roman were in the Shield? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't understand.
They're
like,
brothers.
If they were, but they're not. If they were over there like butt humping Cody Rhodes to try to be into it, I would half make sense, because he just teamed with Roman, so maybe he's a big name who can do it. But once again, he's not family either. Sami's family. Sami Uso, he's family. He was in the bloodline. He makes perfect sense. But like you said, why have it 5-on-5 if it's not going to be Zilla and The Rock? The end. And people are like, well, dude, I got people on TikTok like, The Rock can't do it. He's not going to wrestle that type of match, this and that. Do you understand how War Games works? The Rock can literally be the last person to enter. As soon as he enters, then the match can be over. That match can go on the entire time. The Rock enters, and it ends 3 minutes later with The Rock throwing 3 punches in a people's elbow, and then the match is over. He doesn't have to do shit. He can easily enter that match and get it going for WrestleMania. This should build to WrestleMania, not build to having a random person, whoever it is, in the match. Like, and imagine too, like, what if Seth Rollins in it and he takes the pin or he gets the pin? Then what do you do? It's just all stupid. I don't like it at all. Bloodline. That's what we want. OG.
That's the story.
Versus the bloodline. Yeah. If you want to not have Zilla and The Rock in it yet, and you're going to have them after it, then do 4-on-4. No point to 5-on-5. I'm really hoping this is a swerve. I'm hoping that eventually nobody's going to want to pair with either of them, and they just go with 4-on-4, and they just wanted to build some tension up until the last few weeks, until Survivor Series, what I'm hoping for. But if they add a 5th member and it's not family, sorry, Triple H, you dropped that. That's awful. The end. That's all. I don't care who it is. There's no good outcome. It's awful. The end.
Yeah. I completely agree. And to all those people that are saying, well, The Rock can't work this kind of match, I don't want to hear anybody say anything else about The Rock after he delivered a 40-minute tag team match at WrestleMania 40. Like, he was in, like, and he did work in that match. It wasn't like, oh, Roman did all the work and Rock tagged in. No, Rock was taking bumps outside of the ring. Rock was taking stuff in the ring. Rock looked fantastic. So I don't want to hear anything about he can't work a War Game style match because I mean, he put on a 40-minute clinic at WrestleMania 40 for a guy who's supposedly not in ring shape. So can it?
He needs a warm up. and he needs a warm up for Mania, not to get in shape, but just to get his fine tuning in and get his groove back. Wrestling's hard. It's not like you can just like show up and put on bangers, you know what I mean? So he needs a tune up. Why not there? If not, I'm assuming he'll enter in the Rumble and do the same thing, enter at 30, do 2 hits at people's elbow and win the Royal Rumble. Either way, we need to get him in there just to get his adrenaline going and back in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think The Rock, I hope he makes an appearance, because otherwise it makes that whole bad blood thing, the ending, feel completely obsolete. Like if he's not going to be in the match, he needs to do something at War Games, whether it's cost the OG Bloodline the match or enter at the last minute or something, but he needs to make an appearance either during or after to make it all worth it, in my opinion.
What's the chances? 0 to 100%. What's the chances that Sami Zayn turns and costs the OG Bloodline the match? Because it's the opposite of what he did last year. What's the chance?
I could see it. I think I think they're pretty high.
Higher than 50?
I would say probably about 51%. I'm gonna say that because I just it does feel it does feel like he randomly is all of a sudden just happy with Roman and everything's great, and he's trying to recruit people and to be on their team. Like it. And why isn't Kevin Owens going after him? Maybe they have like a little deal worked out where, hey, I'm going to I'll go after the Bloodline and Roman for everything they did to you and for everything they did to me. You go after Cody Rhodes. Because I do think Sami Zayn does need a character change. I think he is due for a heel turn. We haven't had heel Sami in a while, and this would make him the biggest heel in the WWE and put him and Kevin Owens back together just kind of as a heel group running Raw, one on SmackDown. I think it would be fun to watch, but I don't know, because I feel like that would just there's so many options. I mean, The Rock could do something in turn on Roman, and that's how we get to Rock versus Roman. There's so many things that they could do. They could have Paul Heyman betray him. They could have one of these new Bloodline members that they have signed come out. So there's a lot of options. So that's why I'm saying 51%, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, I got a TikTok coming soon about that situation and how I think it could be a Sami turn and then Sami versus Jay at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would like that.
So we'll see. All right, what do you want to talk about next? I'll let you decide. I keep deciding.
I want to talk about your theory of Dominic Mysterio winning the World Heavyweight title.
Someone's going to try to crap on me right now.
No, I'm actually not.
You're going to support it. Okay.
I'm starting, but
I made another video today about that. Let's hear it.
I'm going to take it a step further. I don't think he's going to beat Gunther. I think Dominic Mysterio is going to beat Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest is winning the World Heavyweight title back at Survivor Series.
Okay.
And then Dominic Mysterio is going to dethrone Damian Priest either at the December show, the Saturday Night Main Event, or at the Royal Rumble or sometime. And he's going to do what Finn Balor couldn't do, and that's beat Damian Priest. Because we had that little disagreement where Dirty Dom is staring down. Dirty Dom stood up for himself. I got to give him props. He stood up for himself, and he was like, "I'm a lot closer to being a champion than you ever be." And Finn Balor's still obsessed with Damian Priest and how Damian Priest is the world heavyweight, is the number one contender, and because Dom got beat last week, and Bronson Reed came. And it was just so. I think I'm still overall the dissension amongst the Bloodline. I'm kind of tired of it each and every week. But I mean the Judgment Day. But yeah, I feel like now that I think Dirty Dom is going to beat Damian Priest to win the World Heavyweight title. Because I think they're going this way with Gunther. Like he's lost his confidence, he's lost his swag ever since getting pinned by Cody Rhodes. Now he's going to lose to Damian Priest, and then Gunther will find it again and win the Royal Rumble. So I'm like predicting like 16 things at once, but yeah, I think that's all going to lead to Gunther getting his title back at Mania. After he wins the Rumble and gets his confidence back.
All that matters that you have my doppelganger, Daddy Dom, winning it at the end, and that's all that flipping matters. All these people out here, I've been down with Daddy Dom since day one-ish.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
I got receipts. Yeah. Check my WrestleMania 39 pictures, homie. I got receipts. I was getting booed in that place dressed up like Daddy Dom. twice. I did a Raw.
I felt
and,
safe. I felt safe
WrestleMania.
with you walking the mean streets of Cali, bro. Yeah.
Dressed like dressed like Dirty Dom.
Yeah,
That's
no
right.
one was messing
I
with us that
forgot.
night.
Heck
Yeah.
no, dude, that's my hood, homie. I'm LA for life, bro. They don't mess with me. But anyway, so I do still think Priest is going to lose, but I really, really like that. And now you got that in my head. Maybe what better way for Dom to do it? See, I still think it's a little bit more impactful just to have Dom win it when Priest couldn't win it again, and Priest and Finn couldn't as well, because then he has a one-up on both of them that way, other than him just beating. But I'm good either way. I still think it's going to happen on Netflix, the first episode of Raw on Netflix. I do think that's when Daddy Dom's going to win it. I think he'll lose it before Mania. I think he's just going to win it and have it for a little bit. Or if Triple H was intelligent, which I think he is, this bloodline thing's going a little weird. I think he's intelligent. He would book world champion Dom versus deadbeat dad for a title versus retirement match. And that would just sell tickets out the wazoo, with Dom retiring his dad and keeping that championship. I think people would buy into that majorly. And I think Dom needs to do a walkout where he's like doing something with a deadbeat dad. I don't know what the hell he can think of, but something like that. Nothing will ever be his prison walkout on WrestleMania 39. But yes, I like what you're saying, but I still think my theory is right. And I had the first theory. Thank you very much. Don't let all these other people who copied me say differently.
Oh yeah.
But
no, they'll steal it from you.
I got receipts. But yeah, but I mean, time can't, you can't deny when I posted them. But I do think all signs are still like it's all going for Daddy Dom. Like you said, you made a great point. And this is where I was going to get at, that he looked not scared. He had no worries of facing the War Raiders. He was all about it. Liv was about it. He doesn't look like that little scared boy anymore. And now he has Liv and Raquel backing him up, looking like Carlito's also going to. I do sense that the All Judgment Day are going to kick Finn out and just be the young guns, with Carlito being the old one. It looks like that's where they're going. But Finn always swerves. I still think Finn might possibly help him win still. I'm not giving up on that either, that it's all just a swerve because they just want everybody. They know they're being watched. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope you're right. I hope you're right that this whole thing is a swerve, because that is the one thing that's getting old. Like, this group just got together in August at SummerSlam, and here we are not even 4 months later, and they're already having problems. Finn's already, questioning everything. When, like, I feel like if you turn them now, or if you kick Finn Balor out now, then you made SummerSlam completely irrelevant, and you made what happened with Dom turning on Rhea completely irrelevant. Those were big moments that broke up the faction. And like, then this new group's not even together 3 months, and you already kicked somebody else out. So I'm just kind of over the bickering each week. This is all they did when Damian Priest was running the show. This is all they did when Rhea was running the show. And now, like, this is supposed to be the collective unit that got rid of all the dead weight, and they're still bickering. So, but I hope you're right. I hope it is a swerve, because I'm getting a little over it.
Yeah, I agree. We already kind of talked about that. What else really is there? No, let's talk about the White Six. I know you want to talk about that. You had an opinion, or do you want to save it? Is this for later? Do you want to talk about it, or do you want to talk about it on the review?
Yeah, we can talk about it now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still not feeling this Wyatt Six stuff. I don't know. I thought I love the Miz. I thought the Miz embraced his full heelness. And I didn't see that swerve coming. I really didn't. They got me with that. I didn't think he was really joining Karrion Kross.
He's so good at it, Miz.
Because I really thought like Karrion Kross was holding him against his will, and they went out there, and then the Wyatt Six came out, and then the Miz hit Eric Rowan with the chair, and it was just it was all that whole segment was great, but I don't care about the Wyatt Six anymore. Like, I don't look forward to seeing them. I don't really I have no desire. Like, I don't get excited about them coming out anymore. And I feel like Triple H, we were talking about how he's an intelligent person, and I think he is. And I think he's a damn good booker, but I feel like he has squandered this faction. And now, like, I'm okay with them I'm not saying they need to look dominant every week, but they need to be on TV every week. And I feel like they spent too much. They beat Chad Gable, and then they went off TV for a couple of months, and then they came back, and then they're off TV again, and they come back, and then they're off TV again. I don't know. There's just no consistency with the Wyatt Six, and I just do not care about any of this stuff anymore.
I respect that, and I get that, and I do feel like he's booking them the same as he booked the Bray Wyatt 6, which didn't work. But the one difference is that he is making them feel human, and I'm okay with that. And that's what I liked out of this. Here's the things I liked. Number one, good push for Karrion Kross. The dude is like in the best shape of his life. His wife is still the hottest woman alive in all of pro wrestling. They look good. The AOP look good. And The Miz, I want him to fully join them. I think the Final Testament has been an underutilized faction who deserves better. And this is their chance, win or lose, against the White Six. I think they all looked good. I like that the White Six got their ass kicked. I did. I think it made them
look, it too.
Hey, they're not this like supernatural, like, ooh, no one can hurt us. No, they stood tall. And I hated that Bo Dallas was laughing. I'm over that shit. I get it. You don't feel pain or whatever, but you got your ass kicked, so you can laugh all you want. But I did like that while he was laughing, the Final Testament were all like high-fiving and kissing babies in the background. Yay, we did it! And Karrion Kross looked scared. He was like, oh crap, like we just like did everything we can and this dude's laughing at me. So I like that. I like where they're going. I'm excited for this. I hope they do like a Survivor Series style match. I miss that. I know we're in War Games, and I don't really dig War Games because I can't see the match because it's in a flipping cage and there's too much going on. But yeah. I want, can we get one Survivor Series match, Triple H? Come on, you're smart. Listen to us. You stole other things from us. I know for a fact. Still this. Have this a Survivor Series match. It works perfect. 4-on-4, whatever you want to do, or 5-on-5. Have this a Survivor Series match. I would love it. You can even add in Scarlett and Homegirl. I'm good with that too. Nikki Cross. I'm good with that. Have them too, but let's do a Survivor Series style match. We need it. I would be all for that. And I don't care if the White Six win. They should. But Final Testament can still get a nice rub off of it.
Yeah. No, I'm all for that. I think they just need to do something, and they need to capitalize off this. And, I do agree with your take on Karrion Kross. I feel like for a while, I was not feeling him. I was not feeling the Final Testament. Even like they had the match at Mania against the Pride with Bobby Lashley's group, and it was just like they were whatever. But now, like him and the Miz have a great dynamic with each other. This is a good push for him. They're starting to be taken a little bit more seriously. They're getting wins. They're giving him mic time. They're giving him screen time. They're giving him time backstage with segments and stuff. So, maybe Triple H is onto something with Karrion Kross, and I think this feud is perfect for him. So yeah, sign us up. Survivor Series style match, 5-on-5, 4-on-4, however you want to do it. Wyatt 6 versus Final Testament. Make it happen. It needs to happen.
I agree. All right, NXT time. You ready? Anything else on Raw? You ready? All right.
Actually, one more thing. I'm back in the camp now that Kofi Kingston's going to be turning heel. He's turning heel. As
you said it. No way.
I'm back on the bandwagon. All because of what Xavier Woods said. He said, "Why are you always doing something for somebody else? Why don't you ever do something for you for once?" And that's when I'm thinking Kofi Kingston's going to be like, "Okay, I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to get rid of this dead weight," and that is Xavier Woods. And Kofi's going to be the one to turn heel.
Dang, Gina. Okay. I can see that. Okay.
If he did, I was all in the camp of Xavier turning until he said that line, and then Kofi's face was like, okay. And then so now I see Kofi being the one to turn when they do the New Day celebration. I'm probably wrong, but it was just a little throwaway line that Xavier Woods said.
Yeah,
that made me scratch my head again.
I really like it, but I'll never go against any idea I have because I have to stick to it. I can't be switchy. So I'm still going with 10th anniversary. Xavier was putting the beating on Big E and everyone else, but I do like that, and I can see that happening. If that happens, I wouldn't be shocked, and I'll give you major props. You've been 100% right before, so let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's it.
Let's get into this. Yeah. Good job. Let's get into this NXT episode. A rebound, finally. I mean, the ECW episode we didn't review. It was aight. We had some mediocre old-time wrestlers come out all out of shape and try to do their thing, bully Ray. But
what was the point of Rob Van Dam?
I don't know. Was he gonna wrestle? I'm telling you, he wasn't gonna be a referee. He was in his gear. He wanted to have a three-way, and they were like, "No thanks."
And then he came out and did nothing. Or something. Yeah,
maybe. You know what I got to give props to though? Were the two women of ECW. So Dawn Marie and Francine, they were still looking bad. Those girls got to be close in 55, 60. They were looking good, brother. I mean, I'm 43. And when I was watching them, they had to have been 10 plus years older than I. So they were looking good, man. I was like, good for you, girls. Like, Lita don't even look that good anymore. These girls staying in shape for ECW. Good for them. But other than that,
Dawn Marie is 54 and Francine.
Okay, so she's not that old. All right.
Is 52.
Oh, they're not too old. Okay. But still, they still look good for 50. I'll say that.
They look fantastic.
50 ain't old anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it twisted. 50 is not old anymore. Either is 60, 70 is old. That's when we start getting old. But we're still much younger nowadays. But dude, we had a lot of misses on this. Like, let's have Bully Ray and blah, 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 blah. But they rebounded well with this episode, I think. It was a good episode. Are you ready? Can you still believe NXT beat AEW? Do you want to talk about that really quick? We got like 4 seconds to talk about that. The fact that when AEW went to Tuesday and got destroyed by NXT, it was because they switched days and channels.
Yeah.
And then NXT goes over and demolishes them. And everybody's like, it's because it's an ECW episode. Ain't nobody tuned in because it was an ECW. They only did 500,000. It's not like they did like 800. They did a mediocre number. They just beat AEW.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
On their own night, homie.
Not a good sign. It's not a good sign.
It's not at all. I'm really rooting for AEW, but holy cow, let's get it together. We'll talk about that on Friday. But all right, let's get into NXT. You ready?
Bring it on.
All right. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer defeat the Metaphor. Sol Ruca, HBD's favorite female wrestler in NXT, defeats Cora Jade, one of my other favorite wrestlers, to advance in the Iron Survivor match. Carmen Petrovic is hitting on dudes, I guess, and Ashanti is jealous, although he was hitting on girls last week, and I don't give a shit. Ava holds a meeting with all the tag teams. Wes Lee defeats Cedric Alexander to advance in the Iron Survivor match. I'm not going to lie. For a second there, I thought Cedric was going to win, and I was almost going to punch my screen TV. Tony D'Angelo is eating dinner when Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen interrupt. Jensen wants a title shot, and they leave in a car with Spears in the back. Like, they're a mob. Are they a mob now? It felt like it, right? Is that where they're going? We can talk about it. I don't know. Trick Williams is out for a chat when Andre Chase and Ridge Holland come out, and they will face off with the winner facing Trick Williams for the title at Deadline. But if Andre Chase loses, then Chase U is closing their doors. Lady and gentlemen, I made a TikTok about it that hasn't posted it, but I want to talk about it on this episode as well. Eddie Thorpe, that nobody cares about, earns a qualifying match. Nikita Lyons defeats Rizzo, but pays for it afterwards when Rizzo beats the snot out of her. Chase U is not happy with Andre Chase's decision. Javon Evans defeats Lexus King to advance to the Iron Survivor match. Lexus King is in his feelings about it. Frazier has a qualifier match, and Axiom isn't happy, so we're back on this again? Holy crap. In the main event, Fallon Henley defeats Kalani Jordan to defend her title. After the match, a bunch of tag teams brawl to close the show. Are we pushing the tag team division? I don't know, but that's the NXT review.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about Chase U. You think they're closing up shop next week after they have to be going Ridge Holland versus Trick Williams. I mean, that's the direction they've been going in for months. So they have to be closing the doors of Chase U unless Andre Chase turns heel or something. So who knows?
All right.
But yeah, go for it.
I'll give you the spoiler of my TikTok. You ready? So Chase is losing 100%. This is the end of Chase U. And here's my thing. 2 reasons, right? Number one, I know. I love Chase U. Here's the thing. Chase U has been probably the most overact in all of NXT because they've been around since almost the damn beginning. You know what I mean? 2.0, before 2.0, right? Or was it 2.0? I don't know. But they've been around and they've been loved. They have the fan section. But NXT, no matter who ran it, Triple H, HBK, Vince McMahon, whoever, they've never done anything with them. They have had 2 titles, both being tag team championships, so they both had it for a week, both times, and just lost it instantly. They have never done anything with Chase U. What are we doing as a group? They don't even have class anymore. It's time. Sometimes it is time to say goodbye, just like the New Day after 37 years are finally going to end. It's all factions must come to a close, and this is the end of the chapter. And it's a good thing because Thea Hale can succeed. Duke Hudson can succeed. I have no idea what they're going to do with Andre Chase because that's been his whole damn gimmick. We will find out. He's talented enough, I hope. But on the other end, you want to know how to build a heel? Heel 101. Ready? Make them buff. Check. Make him vicious. Check. And make him beat something that is loved by all. This man, Ridge Holland, is covering all those bases. And if he is the guy who single-handedly joined Chase U to take them out, holy crap. And imagine if then he beats Trick and is the champion. This dude is going to be, he's already getting booed out of the building, bro. Did you not hear that? That is how you build a heel. Shawn Michaels knows what's up. I think this is good for business. I'm all for it. But I also don't like Trick. I don't think Trick is big enough at the moment to have like the Cody Rhodes rub. Did you see him over there like, oh, I want Andre Chase to win. You get the stamp of Trick Williams approved. Like, I love Trick Williams. I love him. But you're not that guy yet. Why are you over here like
I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like his promo. Yeah, this promo was very strange. And, I'm going to give you a title shot. You deserve it. No, you don't. You lost an ambulance match. The Ghostbusters ambulance match at freaking Halloween Havoc over here.
You're that guy.
Yeah. And it just, I don't understand. Like, and Chase, Trick Williams, and then him doing the last week, it was with Bubba Ray. He was doing the table spot with Devon and everything. That was really cheesy. And then this week he's doing the, CHASEU. What's that spell? Chase U stuff with Andre Chase. I just thought that was really, that's like, that is like Cody Rhodes 101 right there. And that's not Trick. That's not Trick's character. No, it's not. That's not who he is. So, but I think you're onto something. I think that we have to break up Chase U, and it's time. They were a tag team when we went to Mania last year at 39, and they had that heel turn with or we thought what was it, the other guy, Duke Hudson, we thought he was going to turn heel.
He was around then,
and he didn't. And he swerved us. So I think it's time. But Ridge Holland, man, he's doing. I didn't like this feud at first. I thought there was just they clearly don't have anybody else now that Bron has been moved up and Ilya Dragunov is gone, and Ethan Page is not in the title picture anymore. So I was like, I didn't like this, but now I'm really digging Ridge Holland as a heel, and I think he's the perfect contender for Trick Williams' title.
I don't know if there's something else you want to talk about, but really quick, Ridge Holland, man, you just imagine this guy, okay? In wrestling, you make mistakes. The dude made a mistake and possibly has costed one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time, Big E's career, right? By that neck drop. Big E has forgiven him, and everyone should forgive him. It happens. And that guy was getting death threats and this and that. And for him to be able to like not only overcome that and continue on in the profession that he loves, but to be where he is today, I think is a pretty awesome thing. And I have to give him props and the WWE props for not giving up on him, and Big E for always being the bigger person. It is just phenomenal stuff, and good on Ridge Holland, because I guarantee you he has lost many of nights of sleep, if not still to this day, losing many a nights of sleep because of that thing that happened. And for him to be able to overcome that, it's not like Ridge Holland did that and was like, whatever, Big E, if he dies, he dies. You know what I mean? He wasn't like, he cares and he regrets that and probably would love anything more than to take that back for what happened. But damn, now where he is, dude, he is doing some phenomenal heel work, bro. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and depending on when all this is, if we are getting Big E back for the New Day 10-year anniversary, he could show up in NXT and cost Ridge Holland this match, and like say it was a long-term storytelling all along. So
imagine that.
you broke my neck.
They want to keep bringing it up. Yeah. Now I took your title. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking your title. So, but I'm sure Big E would be fine if they're making it into an angle, especially if he's making it part of his character, which I think he should. He did for a while. He should bring that back and say that, not only did I end Big E's career, but I also ended Chase U, and now I'm going to end Trick Williams.
I agree. Might as well. Big E is fine. He's not dying. He's not crippled. He's completely healthy. He just can't possibly wrestle again. So I think you can do it. Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else on this episode you want to talk about? Anything of interest?
Not really. We got the Iron Survivor stuff coming up, so I'm excited about
Ruka's
that.
In it. She better win it at the end.
She better win it. But and then I didn't really care for the Tony D'Angelo, Sean Spears stuff. That was just
okay. Is he a mobster now? He got in the back of the truck. There's some dude, I guess, who's on like NXT Level Up or something, who was in the front seat. So he's like, is he the mob now? Is that what he was getting at?
I guess
he was like, that's how a real boss would do it. Is like,
yeah.
we didn't need one mob in professional wrestling. Now we have two. Like,
yeah, and we're gonna. Are they gonna? Is that gonna be like a Survivor? Are we gonna get a Survivor Series match between the mob at Deadline? I don't know, but
as long as they use those old school guns with like the big circle, like the ones you like
the Tommy guns.
Yeah, as long as they use those, I'm good with it. Forget about
something.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, that's as long as we get that, I'm good with it. All right. So we're good. We're done. I think that's it.
Yeah. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a solid week of NXT.
Yeah. It was a good episode, just not that impactful. All right. Solid week of WWE. We're cooking. When is Survivor Series? Is it the
2
end?
weeks.
It's after Survivor Series? After Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's the weekend. So Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. It's that
Thursday.
Saturday. Yeah, the Saturday.
Fantastic. All right, I'm excited. Smell what it's cooking. It's in Canada for whatever. Why would you have a Thanksgiving episode, pay-per-view, PLE in Canada where they don't celebrate Thanksgiving until December, January? When is their Thanksgiving? I forget. Robin sparkles. Robin tells me when Thanksgiving is, but I forget. She's like, I forgot you weirdo celebrated in November. But yeah.
And they're not even, it's at like 6 o'clock again, and there's no UFC fight that night either. So they're doing another early start for
Canadians.
Yeah,
it's on the west coast of Canada.
Yeah, so it'll be 3 o'clock
time. Yeah, what the hell are we?
So I don't know I don't know why they're doing it so early, but yeah, I don't think there's a UFC fight that night or anything. So
no, John Jones fights this Saturday, and check it out, y'all. John Jones versus Stipe, homie. Yeah. So another doppelganger of yours,
and Jake Paul fights Mike Tyson this Friday, so that'll be fun.
Dude, but like at 5 o'clock, but their match isn't going to go on until like 9, right? Because I'm like, I have soccer practice and stuff. Okay, it won't be on until, but that's free, bro. That's how it should be. AEW with your extra charge on Max. No, fam, it's free. I subscribe. Yeah. Let me watch the damn
100%.
Shit. Yeah,
100%.
You know, did you hear that Mike has a no knockout contract? Did you hear that? That there's like a clause in it that he can't knock him out. So stupid.
Yeah, so dumb.
That's so dumb. Why do we even? I don't know. And why am I watching it? All right, let's get into it. Report card time. You ready? We have no song. This is a report card, so we're going to give each other 2 little things, and we want to grade them an A to an F. As always, we start with the more handsome one. Ryan, what do you got for me?
So I'm gonna have a little theme for these, but we'll start
Halloween?
with
theme?
No, just TV show themes. So
okay.
We'll start with Smackdown on the USA Network. Since it's moved over in October, what letter grade do you give it?
You know what? I'm going to give it a C. I'm sorry. I feel like it's gone down since it went over there, and I thought it was going to get better. I truly did. When they move networks and everything else, I thought it would get a little bit more impactful, maybe more this and that, but the first like 7 weeks since it moved over was the same 3 storylines over and over and over. And I get it cooked this past week, but it needed Roman to start getting better again. And we can't rely on Roman because he's not a full-time wrestler. It is what it is. But yeah, after WrestleMania season, he's going to be gone again until Royal Rumble or Survivor Series. So you're not going to have him around. So yeah, I'm going to give it a C. I think it's been pretty much blah since and that used to be the damn A show. So it's been a disappointment. So yeah, and I don't want to say it, but remember we talked about Cody Rhodes being that guy when he was on Raw. The show sucked. Ratings were down. He goes to SmackDown. Show sucks. Ratings are down. Just saying, but I'll give it a C. And I think that's me being generous.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C. I'll go C plus. The last 3 or 4 weeks we've had Roman Reigns on SmackDown, and that has helped it significantly. But you take Roman Reigns off of those shows, and what do you have? You really have, the same storyline of Tiffany Stratton and Naomi Nia Jax kind of feuding with each other. You have Cody Rhodes doing whatever the heck he's doing. A-Town Down Under is going to lose a tag team match. There's really there's a lot of filler. So
yeah,
but apart from the storyline of the Bloodline, which is a fantastic story, it's been kind of blah since it's been on USA.
I agree.
So
I
C
agree.
plus.
All right. Speaking of that, I'm going to hit you with this. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. The WWE announcing allegedly that Cody Rhodes is their guy, is their John Cena, is their future, not losing the title anytime damn soon. What do you grade the WWE making that announcement? Allegedly. Is it allegedly or is it for reals? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna B minus. I think I don't like that they made that allegedly made this. I think somebody at a dirt sheet said something about this, and if it's true,
it
then
wasn't
it's
Meltzer, so it might be true. Whenever it's not Meltzer, I'm like maybe.
Yeah. So it wasn't Meltzer. Meltzer probably ran with 15 theories on who said it and why they said it, and then all of them are wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna say B minus, just because I don't like when we get reports like this, because now like I have I know that Cody Rhodes is not dropping the belt anytime soon, and that Cody Rhodes is going to be involved, whether we want him to be or not, in the main storylines. And the championship doesn't always have to be in the top story. And I don't know, there's just something about Cody Rhodes that just feels a little disingenuous to me right now. And the ratings are dropping. The program is not very good. I don't know. So I'm going to say B minus. I appreciate the WWE for sticking with their guy. I think it's also they're trying to make it work, because they probably realized that they shouldn't have taken the belt off of Roman Reigns. And now they're like, okay, well, we took the belt off Roman. We can't take it off Cody now, because then it'll look like the fans made the wrong decision by making us pivot. So I think they had to say that, but I don't know. I don't like that they said that he's not dropping the title anytime soon. That's a big fat B minus for me.
I give it a C minus. I think it's really bad. And here's my thing, right? Yes, the only thing Cody is succeeding at right now is kissing babies and selling merch. Other than that, he's not doing anything. PLEs are down, ratings are down, everything is down, other than him selling merch. So I don't know the rate of TKO's profit with WWE. Is merch a lot higher, I'm assuming, than ratings, right? Because who gives a shit about ratings? If you don't believe me, ask AEW. They have the worst ratings in television, period, and they just got a renewal. So obviously TV ratings aren't as impactful as fans make it out to be. So maybe merch is a bigger deal, and so that's working. But everything else, quality of programming, I don't get it. I still think Kevin Owens needs to beat Cody Rhodes.
I agree.
And then have Cody Rhodes win it back a couple months later before Mania to give him that like edge, that like, hey, I was losing focus. I was too big on signing autographs and kissing babies and worrying about the WWE machine when I should have been worrying about my title. I lost it. Now I'm awake and rock. I'm coming for that ass. That's the Cody we need. He can still kiss babies and have a fierce side to him. He's just too nobody wants, other than Santi, who I love. What up, Santi? Wants John Cena back. Nobody wants John Cena back. Even when John Cena comes back for his 2025 tour that he announced 7 years ago, I'd rather have Thugonomics John Cena. I don't want kissing baby John Cena. I want John Cena with an edge. We need a little bit of an edge. We're past that time. We're past the PG era. We're not fading back into the attitude era, but we are fading back into the reality era. And that's where people need to feel more relatable or more real. And like you said, he comes off disingenuous. And why? Because anybody who is that nice isn't that nice. Like they say, if you're posting about how happy you are in your marriage on Facebook all the time, guess what? You ain't that happy in your marriage. If you're posting about anything all the time, it's probably a lie, because that's your way of masking the fact that it's not true. So that's how I feel about Cody Rhodes. Every time he comes out, I'm like, ugh. Like even him getting in the ambulance, I'm like, gross. Like, why are you getting in that ambulance? So yeah, I give it a C minus. I think it was an awful move if it's true, and something they shouldn't have said, unless once again it's a swerve. And I always feel like Triple H can have a swerve. He buys into the internet.
Yeah, so. He likes to leak stuff just to test the waters and see what the fans have to say. So
true that. All right, what's your last one? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna go, keeping with my theme of TV. I'm gonna go the NXT on the CW network so far.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a B. A B. Here's why. I think the product has lacked, but I feel like the quality is starting to get better. Did you see this week's episode? It
was
looked good.
Yeah.
The visuals look good. The everything just looked good. It all just looked more high end than a AAA wrestling organization. I do feel like they've dropped the ball a little bit, like HBK's fallen off on his booking, but I feel this episode got him back. The thing with NXT, especially with the CW, I feel like since they signed with the CW, which is weird to me because I feel like USA is bigger than the CW. So why are we like trying to impress? Maybe it's because they just signed with it, but we really have to stop relying on CM Punk, Randy Orton, ECW. Let's just show you how good NXT is because they have the talent. If you want to knock like talent versus talent with NXT versus AEW, I think it's pretty close, man. I mean, minus like Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, maybe an MJF who are that more above just because of where they are in their careers. It's pretty damn close. Don't tell me Ricochet is helping. Like, this is like a pretty good, like, what's the difference between Ricochet and Axiom? Literally nothing. This is a pretty good, like, talent for talent. So NXT, do your thing, keep shining, but I'll give it a B. They have gone down, but the product has started to look better. Sometimes you just need to find your bearings, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's a fair grade. I'm gonna give it a C plus, and
Okay.
not for anything that on the TV or anything, but ratings. We talk about AEW's ratings dropping. NXT's ratings have dropped a lot since they've been on the CW, and I know that it's because the CW is not available in everybody's house. Some people have to have like a certain streaming thing to get it. Some people don't have it in their basic TV packages, and I get that. But like you said, USA is way bigger, and they were getting 840,000 views, 750,000 people watching every week. They're like a couple weeks ago, AEW beat them, but it wasn't by much. It was like 605 to 604 or something like that. It was just, their ratings have dropped. Their viewership has dropped significantly too. And I just hope that that's not a sign of negative things to come for NXT on the CW, because these networks, I mean, Fox canceled SmackDown and didn't renew. So these networks don't play around with shows that don't do very well. So, but I think the product wise has been fine. I think like you said, they need to stop relying so much on people like CM Punk and Randy Orton and focus on their actual talent. Stop stacking the card when you go up against another show. Just do your thing. Just do your thing. And I think the interest is still there, but I am concerned about the ratings dropping a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. It's weird because isn't the CW now like a local channel? So shouldn't everybody have it? I'm confused.
Yeah. But I know like some areas don't pick it up, or you have to like.
Got it.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. All right, fair assessment. You ready for my last one?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see if it's easy or not. I want you to grade the women's U.S. Championship.
Oh wow, the title itself, or
just the title in general? I mean, it looks beautiful. You better give that crap an A+. I'm talking about just the title being in existence.
Yeah, I'm gonna say A all around. This is long overdue, and something that's needed. And I was surprised that they didn't announce a women's Intercontinental Championship on Raw.
Yeah.
But then but they also said in this announcement, and they said it on all three shows, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, that women from both brands will be able to compete for the women's US Championship.
I didn't know that. I think Chelsea Green for that reason. Okay.
Yeah, so I like that too. So that means that it's not just going to be a brand specific title. It also means that we're probably going away from the brand split. But I'm gonna say A, because I think again, this is something that's long overdue. We've needed it. It can really help elevate. And right now, man, the women are killing it in the WWE. Not just NXT, but the tag division is being boosted a little bit. You have the women's main championships are in phenomenal shape, and now you have the mid card scene. I mean, they're like you said, they're doing a lot of things to build for the future. Maybe they can do a women's only special on Peacock, or do something on Netflix, or they're building stuff to be able to make something like this happen. Another women's tournament of some sort. So I'm all for this. And yes, so I give the announcement, I give the title, I give the fact that this is in existence, I give it all an A. Solid A.
Yeah. I give it an A as well. I would have given it an A+ if it was the Intercontinental Championship, only because I think The IC title is bigger than the US title, in my opinion, and it looks better. But it is what it is. Let's do the fact that the women have a secondary title is good. It should have been WWE first, but NXT jumped on it, and Kalani Jordan and now Fallon Henley have ran with it. It's felt important. The women deserve that. Look how many women get left out of the main title. Like we said, Chelsea Green, the Naomis, shoot, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, shoot, Bailey. There's so many people that could be having this Piper Niven. You can have so many women who can carry this title and be proud with it. Io Sky, freaking, it's just so many. So I love it. I think it's great, and I think it'll only elevate. I don't think it's going to cloud up and make everything too hard to book. No, if you know how you're booking, you can book everybody and every title fairly and push storylines properly. I love it. I'm all for it. I give it an A. Good for the women. They deserve it.
Don't put it on Charlotte Flair. That's all. We don't need Charlotte Flair.
Not first. Not first.
Eventually.
She can win it one time, but not first. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our weekly segment and our favorite segment. And that is the least valuable and most valuable dude or dudette. You get to go first. Who's your least valuable? You're smiling. You've got up the sleeve.
I am. I'm ready.
Who is it?
We talked about him already. We've talked about him a lot, but I'm going to go Cody Rhodes.
Good call.
Only because he didn't do anything. He literally is not doing anything right now. And, it'll be the last time he defended his title was the first SmackDown on the USA Network back in October. So it's been about over a month or so since he's defended his belt. He's probably not going to defend it at Survivor Series. He's probably, he didn't defend it at Crown Jewel. And now, why would you get on? And he was on SmackDown for 5 minutes, and he got on. He got on the ambulance with Randy Orton. He just, like we talked about earlier, he just looked disingenuous. You really want to get back at Kevin Owens and support Randy Orton? Go find Kevin Owens, who's clearly still in the building. They didn't show him leaving. Go show him and fight him. Go. You say you're a fighting champion. Go fight. Go be the champion and fight and beat down Kevin Owens backstage. Cody Rhodes was a big miss for me this week. Big time miss.
Well said. Well said. I fully agree with everything. So I just like that all these haters. Roman's a part-timer. Just because Cody's on TV, if he ain't defending his title, he's a part-timer as well, ladies and gentlemen. So
big time.
All right. Mine is going to hurt me. It's going to hurt my heart, but I have to pick it. And that is Liv Morgan. She is my least valuable dudette. This girl literally just had possibly the biggest moment of her career by defeating Nia Jax for both titles. She cried. She hugged old Mr. Trips. She came out again and celebrated with Cody and broke kayfabe and raised up the titles together and stood on the ring aprons and yada, 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 only to get pinned in a tag team match a few days later on Monday Night Raw. Why the hell are we okay, you're going to tell me we had Nia Jax lose to Liv Morgan, a champion, and then we had Liv Morgan, the other champion. So in about a week span, we've had both women's champions lose, and we're supposed to be hyping up this women's division. That's how you hype women's division, by having your heads lose. The tops should never lose. Everybody in between should battle. Why, if you were going to have Io Sky, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, my mom, other people all interfere in this match, why would you not just have them interfere and cost it and make it a DQ? Why have them pin Liv Morgan? Awful flipping booking. I'm sorry, Liv. I love you. I would marry you. I think you're phenomenal, but you took the L this week. You are the least valuable dudette, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's you can't go wrong with that call. I don't understand why I say this every week, but stop having champions getting pinned. I mean, AEW does this all the time with their, we have the trios champion going for the international championship. And so of course he's going to lose. Stop doing that. And stop with having women's champion going for the tag team championships. And then you have them, the champion get pinned. Raquel Rodriguez could have eaten a pin. It would have been fine.
Thank you. Why couldn't she? I agree. Yeah. I agree. All right. Who's your most valuable, bruh?
I'm going to go Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They
solid.
They got the win on SmackDown. They got the win on Raw. We talked about the women's tag team divisions being boosted right now. These tag team titles are feeling more important than they ever have felt before. and these girls are doing a fantastic job. And anytime you go 2-0, because they're not going to be on NXT, but anytime they went 2-0, they won on both shows. They're defending the titles regularly. They won at Crown Jewel. I'm digging all of this, and I know this is clearly setting up for a women's War Games match at Survivor Series 2 with
seems like
with Bayley coming out and Dakota Kai and the rest of the group coming out, Damage Control, Io Sky. So yeah, I'm loving everything that they're doing with the women's tag titles. But Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, you got to give them the praise that they deserve. So they get MVD.
Oh, easily by beating those. And I was going to pick them, but I decided to pick somebody else. But great choice. I fully agree with you. But I'm going to go with The Miz. And here's why. Too. This man came out, swerved everybody. You even said yourself you were swerved, was bleeding, was begging for forgiveness, only to then hit Eric Rowan with the chair. And they dominated the Wyatt Six, and he stood tall. And this is, I think, in memory, the first time the Final Testament has ever gotten a win in anything or ever looked strong. And it's because of The Miz. The Miz is made to be a heel. He was built to be a heel. I love him as a heel. I loved all of this. The Miz, you get the most valuable dude of the week, in my opinion. Props to you, Miz. And I look forward to it. And I want him to fully join the Final Testament. I don't want him to be a co-star. I want him in the damn group. Let's make factions great again as well. Let's make it feel important. The Miz will fit right in, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this will be the first time the Miz has been in a faction that's been more than 3 people in his career. I mean, he had the B team and Curtis Axel and Bodette.
Oh my good. That's where all this started. Yeah.
It's long-term storytelling. But yeah, I think the Miz was a good call because he swerved me, man. I really thought, I was like, what are we doing? Like, the Miz is he's gonna get beat up by the Wyatts, and now he's getting beat up by Karrion Kross. Like, what direction are they going here? But I did not see that coming, and that's always a great moment when you're a wrestling fan, is when you get swerved like that. And they did a great job. Miz is killing it. He's so good at everything that he does. He's underrated and underappreciated. But yeah, that's a good solid pick.
All right, thank you. All right, that's it. That's the WWE Week in Review. We'll be back Friday with our AEW episode where we're going to talk all things Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite, which airs tonight. So tune in to that. I think we're going to be moving progress. I got to keep going up, right?
They have like a pay-per-view quality card on Dynamite tonight too. So
yeah, I don't know. They do.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to
be a banger.
Takeshita and Adam Cole and so many other matches.
Should be good stuff. All right, thank you all for always tuning in, subscribing, watching, listening. As always, if you want to just listen to me talk, you can catch me at HB Denton on all social media devices. I'm posting like crazy, so check it out. Give your boy a follow. Get me up a little bit more. I still haven't hit 10K. I don't know why. And as always, I am teamed up with my brother from another mother.
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow me on all the social media platforms as well. Go follow us on TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. Go follow us on X if you so choose at 2 Dudes PC. And then we're back live on Twitch every week. So go follow us there, 2 Dudes _ with Attitudes. And then we are 1 away from 1,300 subscribers on YouTube. We're at 12.99. So we've got to cross that threshold. So go subscribe if you haven't done so already. And then for everyone listening to us on audio, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your podcasts, thank you for all the love and support. Go rate us and review us and tell everyone about your favorite 2 dudes that you found on the internet.
I agree. 2 Dudes Wolfpack.
2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and their attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.